Daniel Pai with the Franklin Pierce School of Law joins us now live. Professor, it's great to see you again. So let's begin with basically the simple question here. What did the judge see that led to this ruling?
Well, the case was decided on a constitutional issue. The Constitution requires officers of the United States to be appointed by the president with consent and approval from the Senate, and this applies to U.S. attorneys. And the special counsel had the power of a U.S. attorney, but was not appointed by the president and was not confirmed by the Senate. And so the judge said that this was an unconstitutional appointment of power. The judge also mentioned that the funding for the special counsel's office may have been unconstitutional, but didn't reach the question because the appointments issue was dispositive. And so, in essence, the simple version of this is that the judge was saying that the appointment of the special counsel was not done according to the rules of the Constitution, and therefore the whole case has to be dismissed.
And of course, this begs the question, how does this impact the other federal case against the former president? And that federal election interference case is further delayed after the Supreme Court ruling on presidential immunity. But special counsel Jack Smith is also overseeing that case. So could there be an argument here that the appointments clause applies to as well?
Absolutely. The argument could be repeated in the D.C. case as well. There is no precedential authority, though. So the judge, right, Eileen Cannon, is a district court judge in the 11th Circuit. So for two reasons, that can't have any direct impact. The D.C. Circuit or the D.C. District Court, I should say, is not bound by whatever the district court in Florida says. However, the argument that she uses could be recycled, and the judge in the D.C. District Court case could also agree with that opinion. It's unlikely that would happen. This is sort of a surprise decision, but in principle that could happen. The argument, all of the elements of the argument are there for the D.C. judge if she wants to take that.
Professor, let me follow up on that just a little bit. So about this documents case specifically, does it end here? Of course, barring the Jack Smith appeal, which is not yet confirmed as we know, but is there any other involvement involving this case that could move forward still?
Yeah, a lot of people are saying that this is the end, and in a way that's true, but it actually isn't. So as you mentioned, that this could be appealed. This did not go to a jury, and so double jeopardy doesn't apply. This is not, and the case was not dismissed with prejudice, which means that the government can bring the case once the problems are sorted out. So, for example, an easy way to just file the case again would be to have a U.S. attorney file the case rather than a special counsel, and there's no reason why they couldn't just start the process over again. They've already done the investigation, and so a lot of the delay would be gone. In any case, this was not likely to be resolved before the election anyway. And so from a practical perspective, this probably doesn't make a whole lot of difference because we probably weren't going to get a verdict before November. So, but nevertheless, yeah, it is. Yeah, it's going to be interesting to see what happens. This is not finished.
Okay, Professor Daniel Pai, always appreciate your insight. Great spending time with you today. Thank you.
Yep, thanks for having me.